bizarre deaths, you know. I want to take a look at this because, you know, maybe we want to try something a little bit different, you know. We want to take a look at something a little bit different, you know, something a little bit different, you know, something interesting, you know. I do want to take a look at this because I think I am subscribed to them. I'm not too sure. I don't remember, to be honest, but we'll find out. I'm very interested. It says ponytail zipline, which is, I can tell automatically, you know, this is something that, something that's not super interesting. So these stories are real, okay? Viewer discretion is advised, okay? I love watching those, or caving accidents or sub accidents. Yeah, same as well as Shoko, same as well. I cannot look at Akon to save again.
Without mortality, what is humanity? Seasons change, the flowers bloom and wither. We start from dust, and to dust we shall return. Most of us think we're going to drift away in our sleep, or maybe we'll die from old age, but some of us croak it in ways that you just won't believe. So, as usual, without any messing about, here are 5 more bizarre deaths.
Alright. I'm curious. Tragedy tales.
Fireworks are supposed to symbolize joy, celebration, happiness, well-being, and total health.
Oh god, if it has to start with fireworks automatically, chat, we all know that if any fireworks are involved, we all know this for a fact it's not going to end well. Yeah.
However, in this story, they actually did the total opposite. This explosive story begins in America, in Maine, on the 4th of July.
Ah, yes. Good old America. Good old America. Never ceases to amaze me when it comes to fireworks. Yeah, who's the idiot? Let's go find out, shall we?
2015.
2015?
On that fateful
oh
night,
my god.
22-year-old Devon Staples had no idea it would be his last. Devon was described as a warm-hearted, fun-loving, life of the party type of...
Why he biting his lip like that? Why the fuck he biting his lip like that? That's fucking weird, man. Why this dude biting his lip like that? He's like, He's like, Bro, why is this guy biting his lip like that? He's taking a photo too. He's like looking at you so sensual, you know? He's like,
guy. He lived in Orlando, where here he worked as an actor at Disney World. He would dress up as Gaston and Goofy.
What? Excuse me? What? How did this guy... Oh, no. Oh, no.
And he was amazing at his job. To celebrate Independence Day, Devon attended a party in the back garden of a friend's house. He brought with him his family, and of course, fireworks and booze. Before long, they were all singing and drinking as fireworks zoomed into the night sky. As the night went on, they got slowly more drunk, and things slowly got out of hand.
Of course. Of course. It has to do with alcohol. What a surprise. What a surprise. Oh my goodness gracious me. What an actual surprise. It just has to be alcohol. Alcohol with fireworks. Yeah, that's definitely not a, like, you know, it's definitely a recipe of disaster. Yeah, totally nothing bad is going to happen. Totally.
In all the craziness, Devon said he was going to light a firework on his head. Now, the firework he was going to put on his head was not a small one. It was one of those massive mortar shells. The ones that are 5 inches long and must be at least 2 inches wide. They are ridiculously powerful and can propel up to 150 feet into...
Oh yeah, I heard about that one. I heard about the girl walking into a freezer and dying. I remember that one specifically.
Yeah. It was also described as out of the mortar tube, meaning it had no metal casing, so it was just sort of the inside of the firework. Devon put it on his head and laughed. He told everyone that it was a dud firework and that it was a funny, harmless joke. His friends and family erred on the side of caution and told him to take it off his head. But despite the warnings, Devon continued to laugh and joke as it rested on his head. He continued to tease his friends with the idea of lighting it. He pulled out a lighter out of his pocket and began sparking it over his head. And of course, it was all fun and games until it wasn't. All of a sudden, Devon sparked the lighter above his head and the firework ignited. It was not a dud. Within the space of just a second, it went off, and because there was no mortar tube to project it in any direction, it exploded right on top of his head, killing him in front of his friends instantly. According to his brother, Cody, he said, and I quote, "I was the first one who got there. There was no rushing him to the hospital. There was no Devon left when I got there. It was a freak accident."
Whoa, did he got disintegrated from the firework? No way. He was so drunk. Yeah, he was so drunk. Are you telling me, like, I was the first one who got there? There was no rushing him to the hospital. There was no Devon left when I got there. Holy cow. God damn, that is crazy. Yeah, but it said, like, there was no Devon left. As in, like, was there even a body there to begin with?
I can only imagine the complete horror going from a fun night of celebrations to absolute tragedy
What a dumbass.
within seconds. This story goes to show the dangers of fireworks in general.
Hey, Goose Dick.
There's a reason why they're plastered with warning labels. They're explosives. What Devon did was extremely silly, and the nightmare that unfolded will forever be burned into everyone's memories.
Oh, that's curious too. I wonder if he was actually drinking alcohol, holding alcohol in his hand or something. That'd be interesting.
This story is so unusual, it'll make you think twice about using any gadget in your kitchen. It begins in Morehouse.
In your kitchen? What the fuck? Excuse me? Oh god. I'm gonna be paranoid now. Oh great, it's in France.
In eastern France, on the 18th of July, 2017.
2017.
That day was to be like any other
Interesting.
for 33-year-old fitness blogger Rebecca Berger. Rebecca had 55,000 friends on Facebook
God
and
damn.
158,000 Instagram followers.
God damn, she's fit as fuck.
The fitness guru would highlight the value of fitness and training,
Jeesh.
as well as the food and the lifestyle.
Jeesh.
She was described by friends as a body princess, bikini icon, and a beautiful athlete.
God damn, that fucking waistline. Oh, but you can see her bones though. Oh, I don't know about that. I think she's just sucking it in though. But Jesus Christ, oh my god. That might be a little bit fake, maybe, probably, because that does not look real, in my personal opinion.
But while she was in great shape, showcasing her amazing figure, she was also described as a generous, kind person.
Hey,
who was
Angel,
full
how you
of
doing there,
life.
hun?
Sadly, on
Welcome,
that
welcome
warm
to the
July
stream or
morning,
so.
it would all come to a tragic end.
I like the muscles. Yeah, the muscles are pretty
On
good.
the morning of July the 18th,
Can't improve.
Rebecca had woken up early. She planned to start the day right, as she usually would with her various
Phenomenal? What do you mean phenomenal? What does that mean? I don't even know what that means.
fitness routines. She went into the kitchen of her home in Morehouse and began preparing a nice hot drink.
Okay.
After she made it, she thought that the one thing it was missing was delicious whipped cream. So Rebecca began setting up a pressurized whipped cream dispenser, one that she bought years earlier. Here she attached a nitrous canister within a...
Okay. Well, now we know. Okay, now we know what this. Now we know what's going to happen. It means very remarkable, extraordinary. Oh, I don't know about that, Shoko. I'm nowhere near in those categories personally. Well, we already know what's gonna happen when we just heard the word.
plastic housing and then fitted the cream canister. Once it was all set up, without any hesitation, Rebecca pulled down on the trigger to release the whipped cream, and the entire thing exploded.
Hey, oh, well, there we go. Yep, it exploded. Yep, there we go. There we go. Yep, just as I thought. Yep, exactly. Hey, Master, how you doing there, hun? Do you like butterflies? Never seen a butterfly in real life, so. What a riveting experience this has been. Well, if you enjoy your stay, you're welcome to stick around, So, let's continue, shall we? Back on the main
pulled down
topic,
the trigger
so.
to release the whipped cream, and the entire thing exploded.
It exploded,
The
yep.
pressurized cream flew backwards and hit Rebecca's thorax. The impact was so strong, in fact, that it broke all of her ribs and caused her heart to suddenly stop. She dropped to the floor and her family began giving CPR. The paramedics were called and they managed to successfully revive her on the scene. However, she never regained consciousness, and tragically, the next day, she succumbed to her injuries in the hospital. After a brief investigation, it was found that the dispenser that Rebecca had used that day was actually faulty and had actually been recalled in 2013 for safety concerns. For whatever reason, Rebecca was still using it, and it cost her her life. Officials commented and said that this was a total freak accident that nobody could predict. Her family posted on all the socials 2 days later, breaking the terrible news to her followers and urging them not to use the whipped cream dispensers, leaving her fans and the world in shock.
Damn, holy, oh my god, wow, that's crazy. Just by a whipped cream dispenser. Holy cow, back in 2013. Yeah, whoa, that's crazy. Because I used to chase butterflies when I was younger, didn't think you would give them you would give them to me for free. What do you mean give them to you for free? I've never seen a butterfly in real life. I've seen a moth, but that's about it. So, yeah. Never seen a butterfly in real life. Who needs a whipped cream dispenser? I don't need it. You can just use it from the can. Can't you just use it from the can? Can't you just like use the can and just go? I thought the can itself was supposed to be used. You're supposed to. Isn't that what it's supposed to be for? Yeah, because I honestly never tried whipped cream most of the time, but I seen them use the can and it just whipped cream comes out of it. So I guess so. I guess people who like weird stuff. I guess Canned whipped cream, yes. Yeah, I was just like, why don't you just buy canned whipped cream at the end of the day? So, yeah.
At her bizarre and early passing.
Damn, that's crazy. That's actually wild.
Now, this story goes to show that real life is often stranger than fiction. This story begins on the 15th of June, 2018. In Indonesia. More specifically, in North Toraja. Now, for a bit of background, the Tanah Toraja region in Indonesia is bristling with unique features. From its diverse culture to its beautiful mountain views.
Wow.
It's paradise.
It's very beautiful. Very green.
However,
I've never seen so much green in my entire life.
Is most famous for its bizarre funerals. Now, when Toranjans die, it's tradition that local residents hold funerals that can last for days, involve music, dance, and alcohol, and even the sacrifice of water buffalo. They're meant to celebrate life more so than to mourn death. Then, once the funeral is over, once a year, the deceased relatives are dug up, exhumed, dressed in different clothes, even taken out for lunch, posed for photographs, and then placed back in their coffin. It's all very bizarre, but I suppose that's their culture, and it's been this way for hundreds, if not thousands of years.
Whoa! 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 That is... Whoa, that's... Whoa! I guess. I guess it is. It's very weird. Very, very, very weird.
The first thing they do at these funerals is heave a specially made wooden coffin up a bamboo ladder. They then place the coffin on a lacane, a large carved wood tower, where here it would rest for the remainder of the funeral. Torajan people believed that the deceased would be able to watch the party from there, as from the tower you can see all the people celebrating and dancing and drinking wine below.
Well, you don't think it's weird of digging up your dead relative and taking them out to dinner and taking photos to them on Instagram and then putting them back in the box is weird? I don't know. I think that's pretty bizarre in my personal opinion, Sal, but okay. All right.
On the 15th of June, 2018, it was the funeral for Berta Kondorura, the mother of 40-year-old Salman Kondorura. That fateful day, Salman arrived for his mother's funeral. He was one of the pallbearers. He, along with 15 to 20 other people, carefully carried his mother's coffin right to the...
Do you think it's sterilized? I don't think it's sterilized in my I don't think they have that over there in my personal opinion. you know, just by looking at this, it doesn't really look like it.
Top of the bamboo ladder. This is the video captured, and obviously I can't show it all because of the guidelines, but it shows the mass of people almost at the top of the ladder.
That's a lot
However,
of people.
just as they
it's
got
gonna
to the
snap,
top,
isn't it?
all of a sudden, one of the pallbearers lost his footing, and this caused the ladder to slip and collapse.
Yep. There it is.
As the people tumbled to the ground, the large coffin soon followed. There wasn't any time to react. The coffin crashed on the ground with Salman, the son of the deceased, still underneath.
Ooh.
The coffin, being as ornate and heavy as it was, completely pulverized Salman's head.
Ow.
Salman was rushed to the hospital,
Ooh.
but sadly he died from his injuries that evening.
Yeah, if you got a coffin smashing straight down on your head, you're not getting up from that. That's all I gotta say. Your head is gonzo. It is gone. You know, it's fucking like it's like a gusher's fruit. You know, when you crush a gusher's fruit, right? Fucking it pops like no tomorrow. I know. Tell me about it, Choco. God Lord, what is this decapitation episode? Jesus Christ, this is wild.
Officials said that the accident occurred because the ladder wasn't properly reinforced. However, the family decided not to press any charges. A few days later, Salman was laid to rest right beside his mother.
Jesus
but just imagine
Christ.
that. Dying at your own mother's funeral by your own mother's coffin. It's completely bizarre.
That's
and
crazy.
Right out of Final Destination.
That is
But
very
always,
crazy.
I'm interested in your thoughts below.
That's crazy. That's just crazy. Killed by your own mother. That's just wild.
This tragic story begins in the Calvert Varks Park in Brooklyn.
In
on
Brooklyn.
the cold afternoon of September the 5th, 2013.
2013.
That day, a 19-year-old
Holy shit.
by the name of Roman Priazek Jr. decided it was the perfect day to fly his RC helicopter in the park.
Oh, I just saw a recent video on this one. Is this the one that I think this is? I think I know it. I want to know if he goes in depth on this one.
It was his only day off work for the week. The weather was perfect, so he invited his dad to come with him. It was going to be an amazing day. Roman was an incredibly good remote control helicopter pilot for his age. He was capable of performing insane tricks, flying it backwards, upside down, and moving it in ways that was simply impossible for a real helicopter to do. He had this one trick where he would let the helicopter freefall above his head, only to restart the motor when it was just inches from hitting him, leaving his viewers in shock. He was described by his sister as,
Hell no, I would never let that thing near my head, like even an inch or fucking a foot in front of me. No. That thing is staying a couple yards away from me.
the best person ever, and that he had the biggest heart. Having been introduced to model airplanes at a very young age by his family, the hobby slowly migrated to radio-controlled helicopters, and before long, Roman was completely mad.
Chat. I've just noticed it's been 2 for 2 for head decapitation, right? So, we're talking about a helicopter. Does a dangerous stunt. Inches away from on top of his head or in front of his head or whatever, you know? Huh. Let me guess, is he gonna get decapitated as well? Huh.
For anything RC helicopters. He was so obsessed, he became the vice president of the local helicopter flying hobby club. He even ran his own YouTube channel, highlighting his aggressive but impressive piloting skills. Tragically, Roman had no idea that his favorite hobby would be the end of him. On that cold afternoon, Roman and his dad brought Roman's high-end petrol-powered T-Rex 700 RC helicopter, which he can be seen holding here. Now this particular make...
That's a big-ass fucking helicopter. Holy shit, look how big that thing is. Holy shit, the wingspan is almost as half the size of this dude. Holy shit. It's not even in the frame either for that picture. Oh my god. Holy crap. They're expensive as hell too.
Which you can
Oh
be seen
jeez.
holding here. Now this particular make is one of the largest remote control helicopters that you can buy. It's capable of reaching 60 miles per hour, measuring several feet from end to
60
end.
miles per hour?
It weighed
Holy
6
shit.
pounds and featured a blade span of 62 inches with a
62 inches? Holy fuck. God damn. God lord.
blade that spins at more than 2,000 RPM. It sounds like an absolute monster. As Roman and his dad and 4 other enthusiasts flew their helicopters nearby, Roman and his dad set their engine going.
Recording.
Real footage of Roman flying?
The helicopter shot in the air, spinning and twirling, performing all
Yeah, but it's shaking very violently too at the same time. That does not look right. Let's see this stupidity. It's shaking very violently.
all the tricks in the book, all recorded by a GoPro that was strapped on it for its YouTube channel. After a while of tricks, at approximately 3 PM, it was time for the ultimate showstopper. This trick was the one I mentioned before, where he'd have it free fall above his head before recovering at the last minute. The trick all played out as expected, but we are in a bizarre death video, so of course something had to go wrong. As the helicopter descended through the air, right above Roman's head, Roman pulled the trigger on the accelerator for it to gain elevation, and instead it spun out of control. In a blink of an eye, the razor-sharp carbon fiber blades struck his head. The first impact shattered his skull, sending a piece flying. The blades then continued to scalp him, and then when they were done, they cut his throat, all while his dad watched. After all the blades had shattered, the helicopter was thrown rotor down 20 feet away from Roman. His dad rushed over to find that he was mortally injured. Despite his dad's best efforts to keep him alive, by the time the paramedics arrived,
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh my god.
he was dead. Flying a remote control helicopter apparently is one of the most difficult aircrafts to operate. They are heavy, dangerous, and they're certainly not toys. This story was of course just a freak accident. It's thought that Roman's death is the second ever recorded fatality from a model helicopter. But what an absolute nightmare. To be torn apart from your own pride and joy in front of your dad. It's gotta be one of the worst ways to go.
Holy cow. Hello, Priyanti. Thank you for the followers. So, since you followed or so, because I always do this to every new followers, of course. You can never, ever leave the outer realms. But hello. Greetings. Welcome. Fucking hell, I don't even think anyone could go to help realistically since a RC copter was still going crazy. You want to know something? I saw a video on this. Like I mentioned before, right? I saw a video on this, but I think that video specifically was a little bit more newer, right? If I remember correctly, the way that how he performed his stunts, right? You guys saw in the video how he performed like his stunts and everything, right? And all that stuff. Apparently, he modifies his RC helicopter. I think, if I remember correctly, he modifies them in order for him to do it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. What's his name? Roman? Let me see. Yazak Jr. If I remember correctly, specifically, there was a specific video on this where I saw it a while back. It was a newer video, right, of this. I think it might have been on this video, I think. Oh yeah, I think it was. Hold on, let me see. So let me see if I can find it.
Hi everybody, this is
Let me see.
Recreational activity
So
at a small Brooklyn, New York park,
So
while
watch.
his friend stands by closely with a camera trained at the device. For many, RC flying is viewed as nothing more than a recreational activity.
Hear this, hear
But
this.
For Roman, this was more than just a hobby. It was his life, and his passion and practice gave him the ability to perform tricks that, to an outside observer, seem utterly impossible.
This was posted 1 month ago. This was posted 1 month ago. You're not gonna guess what he uses to modify his RC helicopter.
When Roman's helicopter was in the air, it was as if gravity itself failed to exist, performing stunts that seemed to defy physics, turning the craft sideways, zigzagging it backwards, even upside down in a completely unnatural manner, before stopping it on a dime with expert precision. On YouTube, you can find traces of his work all over.
Yeah, because there's a YouTube channel. There's like his YouTube channel is still up, and you can see all of this.
Videos being posted by various amazed observers, along with clips posted to his own 2 YouTube channels, with this initial upload being his first introduction to YouTube. Through his videos and various public showings, Roman was already becoming known as one of the most compelling pilots in the entire community. And despite his youth, this actually isn't as surprising as it may seem. Flying was in his blood. His father, Roman Perozic Sr., was a passionate RC pilot himself, even founding and leading a New York City-based club for fellow RC enthusiasts. Over the years, he would teach his son all there was to know about this unique sport, with the two often traveling and competing in various events across the country.
Dude, those things are fucking huge, though. God damn.
And flying recreationally together nearly every single weekend, documenting many of these outings across the Roman Perozic Jr. channel. But while it's easy
Hello, Malum. How you doing there, hun? Welcome to the streamer, so.
to appreciate the talent involved with flying in such a manner, there was an element at play with these tricks that is easy to overlook, especially by simply watching the videos. With that being, the element of danger. Unlike most RC helicopters that you would expect to see in stores that are mainly geared towards children, the device that Roman was flying is much, much bigger, with the craft measuring in at nearly 3 feet long, featuring blades of a similar size that were made entirely out of carbon fiber. These devices were large and, most importantly, powerful, as it's estimated that this specific craft Roman was using could reach speeds of up to 60 miles per hour, while the blades themselves spun at speeds of over 250 miles per hour, rotating 4,000 times in just a single minute. This craft was not a toy, with pilots online likening it to a flying lawnmower. And with that context, it does make these videos a bit more nerve-wracking.
So it's basically like a flying, it's like a flying, lawnmower, right?
As Roman can be seen flying dangerously close to himself and others on numerous occasions. But of all the various stunts he'd perform, there was one that was by far the most daring. For the trick, Roman would flip his helicopter upside down, managing to keep it in the air all the while, before shooting it upwards as high as it could go, and when it was just nearly out of sight, he would then cut the power, causing the craft to free fall to the ground below, only for Roman to fire it back up and catch the device right before it crash landed. Throughout his channel, I could only find a few examples of him performing that trick, likely due to its high level of
I just
danger,
unlocked a
not
new
only for
fear.
this expensive machine, but also for himself
Yeah, just don't do it on top of your head. That's about it.
and the others around him. Though on the 6th of September 2003, Roman decided that it was time to give it another try. That day, Roman had been visiting the Calvert Vaux Park, his favorite flying spot in the entire city, where he would fire up his helicopter.
It does
and
not.
do his
It never
usual run of
spells
tricks.
good at all.
Beside him was his father and 4 close friends who looked on.
So this is the video. This is literally the video. He literally basically just filmed his own death, basically.
Executed yet another flawless run. And riding that momentum, he was ready to tackle his toughest stunt. Only there was a slight problem.
Oh,
According to one of the young men watching on,
Hear this.
something strange began happening with the device. There was something wrong with the helicopter. I've seen many of Roman's videos. I was looking at the helicopter as it took off and I noticed strange oscillations. There was an imbalance somewhere there. Something was off slightly. It was minute. Whatever was happening with Roman's craft seemed minor, so much so that Roman himself didn't even notice it, or he didn't think that it would cause any issues, as he decided to perform the final trick anyway. And so he flipped the helicopter upside down, raised it up to the bright sky above him, and took his thumb off the controller. The helicopter then fell limp in the sky as it began its rapid plunge below, with Roman, his friends, and his father all watching on as it grew closer and closer to them. Before, he slammed his finger back on the control stick and fired up the rotors to catch the craft. Only he did so just a second too late.
Well, Christine, we are at Calvertville Park, where this horrifying accident happened around 3:30 this afternoon. And it's where Roman Perozic and his friends came on a regular basis. But today, Perozic's flight, it took a horrible turn. Roman Perozic was out in this field on a picture-perfect Thursday, flying his model chopper, when it came crashing down, the blade slashing his throat and killing him.
The guy was flying the helicopter and went out of control and it decapitated him.
Officials say Perozic was out here with 4 friends. They all witnessed the horrifying crash.
It's not fully understood what exactly happened, if it truly was some sort of mechanical issue, the wind speed, or if it was simply mistimed by Roman. But despite the helicopter turning on and its blades nearly instantly reaching their full speed, the craft was not able to stop in time to avoid a crash landing. And although the weather was clear and sunny that day, a strong breeze had pushed the craft towards Roman as it fell, meaning that instead of crashing on the grass in front of him, the RC helicopter instead would crash directly into him. The blade first struck Roman's face, impacting with such a strong force that it nearly cut his head clean in half, before the blade would then strike his neck, partially decapitating him. All the while, his friends and father watched on in horror. Within a split second, Roman Perozic Jr. was dead, killed by the very sport he loved so dearly.
There you go.
When Roman posted his first video to YouTube, there was no way of knowing where his passion would take him and what it would all lead to. And at this time, it's evident just how dark this channel has become due to the backstory surrounding it.
There you
But
go.
there's also another perspective here to consider, as through the darkness, there's actually something quite beautiful about his channel, as thanks to it, his incredible work has been forever immortalized. And despite Roman's death, his passion for piloting RC helicopters and his extraordinary skill will live on and continue to leave people amazed for years to come.
Yep. See, there you go. Yeah, so it goes a little bit more in depth on some of the things, but yeah. All right, let's see what's number 1. Is this the ponytail guy?
India is known for its diverse and vibrant culture.
Let me guess. This guy is gonna use his ponytail to do a zip line, and then his hair gets yanked off or something like that.
Its flavorful cuisine and its deep
And then he falls to
traditions.
his death or something like that.
Did
I
you
feel
know
like
that
something like
India
that's
has
gonna happen.
22 official languages, making it the highest number of any languages of any country in the world. However, India is also known
What's a zip
for
line?
its complete lack of safety.
It's just a
and
tightrope,
regulations.
basically.
Just look at some of my other videos. Some of the most crazy,
You'll find out.
insane
It'll
deaths
say it here
come
too.
from India. And sadly, this story is no exception. It begins on the 28th of April, 2013. That
2013.
hot summer day, a 50-year-old police officer named Salyendra Nathroy was going to attempt the ultimate stunt. Salyendra Nathroy was an Indian man who put his name in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most ridiculous of records.
What the hell?
Salyendra was the world record holder of the farthest distance traveled on a zip line using just a ponytail. He also had his name in the Guinness Book of World Records for other great feats of strength, including pulling a train and a bus with his ponytail.
Jeez, goddamn, that's a strong ass fucking ponytail. Holy crap, if you can pull a goddamn train like that, that's impressive.
But on that fateful day, Saliandra was going to try and beat his previous record of the farthest distance travelled on a zip wire using just his ponytail. This time,
My
he
hair
was
would
going to
leave
attempt
me.
a 600-foot zip line
Yeah, my hair would probably leave me too as well.
in front of a crowd of around 1,000 people.
Oh god, this does not look... Yeah. Okay, that definitely doesn't look very great and safe.
Throughout the many years of Saliandra conducting these wild stunts, his wife begged him
Oh, hello, Stacy. Thank you for the followers. So, since you followed, because I always do this to every new followers, of course. You can never, ever leave the outer realms. But hello, greetings. Welcome, yourself. My name is Nyaru. I'm a Nyaru Let That Be tuber and also number one Dami Mommy. Hello, greetings. Welcome. And none of them thought for a second that, wait a minute, that's not sound safe. Well, they were just about to say it right now. So, watch. Take a listen.
in front of a crowd of around 1,000 people.
Take a listen.
Throughout the many years of Saliandra conducting these wild stunts, his wife begged him and pleaded with him to quit, fearing for his safety. Saliandra believed that this stunt would achieve everything he ever set out to achieve. So,
Bro, why would you, if you broke the record once, why would you want to try to break it again? Like no one's if no one has broken the record, right? And you're trying to break your own record, right? Why would you want to do that? Like, no, that's so dumb. Like, you broke the world record. Why would you want to do it again? That literally makes no sense for you to like do it again. Like 100% makes zero sense. You know? I'm like, if I broke a world record, right? I'm just going to do it. I'm doing it once and I'm gone. I'm out of here, you know? That's it.
So he told his wife that this would be his last, and after this stunt, he would retire and settle down with her. So, on that day, a 600-foot zip line was set up across the Coronation Bridge in West Bengal, India. The zip line stretched 70 feet above the fast-flowing Teesta River. As Saliandra hooked up his ponytail to the zip line, approximately 1,000 people gathered on the bridge. They all watched as Saliandra attached his shoulder-length hair to a pulley on the wire, and without much thought, he set off. At first, as usual with these videos, it was all going well, until it wasn't. After completing half of the course, already breaking his previous record, all of a sudden, his hair got stuck in the zip line. He tried desperately to untangle it, but suspended 70 foot above a fast-flowing river with 1,000 people watching, panic ensued. He tried desperately to pull himself forward, but his hair was completely twisted and jammed in the inner workings of the zip line.
Uh-oh.
The only thing keeping him up. He turned to the audience and started screaming instructions, but they had no idea what he was saying. There were no officials there, no doctors, or medically trained persons on standby.
Oh my god, dude. Come on. You can't be serious with me. There was nobody there? There was like no professional like help or anything on standby? Are you fucking joking me? Okay, that's just complete stupidity there. That's 100% complete stupidity.
The only safety precaution that I can see is the fact that they dressed him in a life jacket. Witnesses were forced to watch as he continued to struggle, grasping at the rope, trying to move forward, but to no avail. After several minutes, Saliandra became motionless and hung lifelessly by his ponytail over the water. An agonizing 25 minutes later, he was brought from the zipline and rushed to hospital. But by then, it was far too late. They found that he had suffered a massive heart attack while panicking over the water. He was declared dead soon after arriving at the hospital.
Oh, so he didn't die by the ponytail ripping him or anything like that. No, he died to a heart attack because he was panicking. Oh, that's interesting. He panicked. He panicked so hard that he gave himself a heart attack for that. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, I honestly did not even see that coming, in my personal opinion. I thought it was going to be something about the ponytail or something like that, but no, it was actually him. He did it to himself.
His younger brother, Benoy, who was witnessing his brother's stunt for the first time, said that we were proud of his bravery, adding that he was sure to win, but destiny had taken his life and the most beloved member of our family as well.
Wow, that's interesting. I'm very curious if he would have had a, like, because he has a life jacket, right? He had a life jacket and whatnot, and he was on top of the water. Like, you can tell, like, he was on top of the water in that perspective view, right? So like he was on top of the water, right? Like, this is where the perspective view where he was on top of the water, right? I'd be very curious, right? If he would have had a scissors or knife or something on him, he probably would have still lived and cut the ponytail and fall into the river, and that's about it. Because he has a life jacket on, so even if he falls into the water, he should be a-okay. In theory, right? In theory, right? So I'm very curious. On that specifically. God, I would never do that with my hair, though. Fucking make it hang myself over, like, what, 600 feet? Over a span of, like, 600 feet or something like that with my ponytail like that? Oh, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. I would never do that. No. My hair would hate me 100%, so. I don't think that specific day, but it does run kind of hard. It was raining kind of hard, so not raining, but like it moves pretty hard. Was that a harness behind him? I thought that was his ponytail that was just holding up.
Became motionless and hung lifelessly by his ponytail.
No, that's literally his ponytail. He doesn't have a harness connected to him. No, that's literally his ponytail holding him up. He didn't even have safety precautions or anything like that, so. Yeah, he probably would hurt himself a little bit, but he would have still lived and be fine. He literally panicked and gave himself a heart attack from that situation. So yeah, he definitely if he was calm and collected, right, and didn't panic or anything like that, he probably maybe would have been fine. But since he was panicking so hard, right? He panicked to the point where his heart couldn't keep beating for him, right? So that means he was scared. He was scared out of his mind. Like, he was literally scared out of his mind. So he was really, really, really terrified in the position that he was in, because he got his hair stuck in the I assume on the wheel or so for the zip line, right? He got his ponytail stuck in there. So then he panicked. Like, he panicked really, 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 really hard. Yeah, true. He does know what he got himself into, but at the end of the day, right? If he was calm and collected, right? Instead of panicking, he probably would have been fine. Yeah, he'd still be alive at this very moment if he was not panicking and like screaming and shouting and stuff like that, right? Because he was saying, because the narrator said that he was screaming and shouting or so, right, to the people on the bridge, right? But nobody understood what he was talking about, right? So that means he was panicking. He was like literally like so fucking scared out of his goddamn mind. He couldn't come up with cohesive speaking pattern. So then, you know, well, he gave himself a heart attack, and then he died, and that's pretty much it. So It's not even the stunt that killed him. It's his own himself is what he killed him, to be honest. He himself killed himself. Yeah, his health basically, yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. It would have definitely played a little bit more different if he was more calm and collected. I think in my personal opinion, he should have done how do I say this? Runs, like fake runs or so, but like in a smaller gap, right? You know, if you're gonna do something like this, it's better to practice at a smaller gap with your ponytail, right? In a more like enclosure space, right? With more practice, right? And not be scared in these certain situations. Like if you're gonna do something like this, you must be mentally prepared, you know? If he was mentally prepared, he wouldn't have not killed himself at the end of the day, you know? Like you can train yourself for this, you know, for this kind of sort of stunts, right? You know, but like that's all mental stuff, you know? From the actual thing, yeah, if he did some pre-stunt practices, right? If he did it in a small enclosure place, right? Or if he decided to do it in a more small, in a half the size of it, right? Half the size of it, right? And practice and everything, have a harness too for the practice stunt, right? And then if something goes wrong, then he'll be prepared and then he'll know ahead of time, if this happens again, we have no problem at all. Yeah, yeah. Because if you would have practiced, like, because I know this was what, a 600-foot distance, right? If you would have done one at, let's say, like 100-foot distance, right, from like point A to point B, and let's say his hair did get stuck, right? He did get stuck on the practice run, right? Then he'll know, and he has a harness, right? He'll have a harness, but he'll have to, you know, you'll have to make sure, like, if your hair is stuck, if the hair is stuck on the wheel or something like that, he would have to cut it off, and then he'll have to practice. We have to wait to grow his hair again and then practice again, and then making re-ensuring the safety or so that his ponytail will not get stuck on that wheel. So he definitely was not prepared. 100% he was not prepared for this. Yeah, that too as well. He literally had nobody there. No expertise, no people on the side or so who was part of the paramedics or any like rescue team or anything like that. There was literally nobody there. That's what made this even 10 times even more stupider as well. You know, he was ill prepared mentally. He didn't know what he could do or so if he gets his ponytail tied. There was no professional like assistance on the side whatsoever. This actually spelled disaster, like 100%, like no joke. Like no rescue team, no paramedics on the side, nothing. So this guy didn't prepare himself like whatsoever. And that's why he failed the stunt. And he wasn't ready. He was not ready to do this. Like definitely 100% was not ready. It's basically knocking on death's door at that point, you know? You know, if you do stupid shit, you're gonna get stupid shit in return, you know? In my personal opinion. Yeah, he had nothing. He literally had nothing. Nobody on the sideline to help this guy if he gets stuck or anything like that, or anything that happens bad. He had nobody. So at this point, that's his fault. That's 100% his fault. Yeah, he didn't have anything to cut the ponytail. Like he literally didn't, you know? So, you know, I don't know. I think in my personal opinion, if you're going to do something like this, at least prepare mentally. Like, you need to be mentally prepared. You cannot panic in a situation like this. If you actually panic in a situation like this, you might give yourself a heart attack, just like this guy. So, yeah. Anyways, that was a very interesting video to see. Oh, yeah. If he cut his ponytail, he can just, like, you know, do like jungle gym, you know, do like monkey bars or so and go to the other side, you know. So he thought he would succeed first try. Pfft. When was the last time he did it? That's the question to ask, you know. When was the last time he did it? So when he was younger, probably. Yeah. Yeah, he could have survived. He could have survived down in the river if he would have fallen down in the river, just cut off his ponytail and fall down into the river. Yeah, of course he might, might break a bone or two, maybe. Depends if there's no rocks, like as long as like it's not like super shallow or anything like that, right? He has a life vest on, so he would have been fine. But the problem is this man gave himself a heart attack, and then he just fucking died. So he was ill prepared, like whatsoever. He didn't have any professional help on standby, no medics. He was not equipped for the situation mentally either, so he did not prepare himself like whatsoever. He probably must have been nervous on that specific day, and then once he launched himself off into from the zip line, he probably must have been like a little bit like he must have been like he was probably scared on that day. Yeah, the wife probably like felt pretty bad. It's funny because the wife told him not to do it, so which is very ironic. Yeah. But he didn't listen, so he's stupid for that. And then on top of that, he didn't have nobody on the sideline to help him out if something bad happens, Whose fault can you really say though? Like at the end of the day, it's his fault. He was ill prepared. He wasn't prepared mentally either. He had no rescue team on the side, and that's all his fault. So yeah. Anyways, well, that was an interesting video to take a look at. To be honest, I like these personally. If you guys haven't subscribed, or so, you should definitely check out Tragedy Tales. Tragedy Tales is definitely a very interesting YouTube channel that I do enjoy watching. So definitely one of the cool, interesting ones. I think recently they just started doing live streaming. They started doing live streaming videos, right? Like live streaming fails. So I've seen, live stream five horrifying tales. I've been watching for quite a while. So I haven't seen this one, of course, but I have seen, as you guys can tell, I have seen quite a lot of the videos. So, but anyways, that's the end of the video. Anyways, comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff, and definitely catch you guys on the next video.